Shields up, Paladins, and welcome to an Overwatch Hero Guide. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'll be talking to you all about Zenyatta and how I like to use this particular character. Zenyatta is one of the support roles within Overwatch, as well as he has 50 health and 150 shields. Now with all this being said and done, let's go ahead and jump right on over to his abilities and his ultimate. The first thing I want to talk about, which is called the Orb of Destruction, which is his primary fire. The aim type is projectile, and the description is Zenyatta projects his destructive energy orbs individually. So the damage is 48, spread angle is pinpoint, projectile speed is 90 meters per second, the rate of fire is 2.5 shots per second, you have 20 rounds per magazine, the reload time is 1.5 seconds, and of course you can receive headshots with this ability. Now going right over to his secondary fire for the Orb of Destruction. Of course, aim type is still projectile. The description is Zenyatta projects his destructive energy orbs in a rapid fire volley after a few seconds spent on gathering power. So the damage is 48 per orb, max is 240 per volley, spread angle is pinpoint, projectile speed is 90 meters per second, the rate of fire is 9 shots per second, that is while firing, 1 orb per 0.52 seconds, that is charging, and of course you have a 0.6 second recovery. You still have 20 rounds per magazine, the ammo usage is up to 5 per volley, reload time is 1.5 seconds, and of course you can receive headshots with the secondary fire as well. Jumping right into the first ability that Zenyatta has, which is called the Orb of Harmony. The aim type is targeted. The description is Zenyatta casts an orb over the shoulder of a targeted ally. So long as Zenyatta maintains his line of sight, the orb slowly restores health to his ally. Only one ally can receive the orb's benefit at a time. So the health is 30 health per second. The projectile speed is 120 meters per second. Max range is 40 meters, ammo is a one-time active, and the duration is 3 seconds if out of sight. Now, if Zenyatta loses sight of the player being healed, the Orb of Harmony will be returned to Zenyatta after 3 seconds, and multiple orbs stack additionally. So do keep that in mind. So pretty much what that's saying there is that if you have like an Orb of Harmony out, then you have a Moira using her healing orb that she has, both of those will stack on top of that individual player. So now going into his second ability, which is called the Orb of Discord. Again, aim type is targeted. Attaching the Orb of Discord to an opponent amplifies the amount of damage that they receive for as long as Zenyatta maintains line of sight. Only one opponent can suffer the orb's effect at a time. So damage is plus 30% damage received. Projectile speed is 120 meters per second. Max range again is 40 meters. Ammo is a one-time active. Duration is 3 seconds if out of sight. And again, if Zenyatta loses the line of sight of a player, that the Orb of Discord will be returned to Zenyatta after 3 seconds. And finally, his ultimate ability, which is called Transcendence. So, aim type is Area of Effect. The description is Zenyatta enters a state of heightened existence for a short period of time. While transcendent, Zenyatta cannot use any other abilities or weapons, but it is immune to damage and automatically restores his health and that of nearby allies. So healing is 300 per second, or 300 health per second. Movement speed is 11 meters per second. Max range is a 10 meter radius. Duration is 6 seconds. And ultimate cost is 2,310. Now, Zenyatta is also immune to certain stuns, such as Hack and Earthshatter. And of course, once you're out of Transcendence, your ammunition is automatically restored after the completion of the ultimate. So, that's pretty much everything that you need to know about kind of like his weapons and his abilities, including his ultimate for Zenyatta. Now, kind of the way that I really like to use Zenyatta is he can almost turn the tide of any battle just because of his Orb of Discord that he has. His healing, sure, it can be great. One of the things that I like to do with Zenyatta is if I see like maybe a DPS low, I'll quickly throw the orb on that DPS, then throw it back onto the tank. You know, and I kind of do that back and forth. So, Zenyatta is, in my personal opinion, is really an offense-focused support. He stands out there from other supports due to his incredible killing power. His Orbit Destruction and Orbit Discord can let him shred through even the sturdiest of tanks with all well-aimed shots. So, you're getting plus 30% damage received. On top of that, if Zenyatta charges up all of his if he charges up for all of his orbs of destruction, to hit at once, that's I believe I said 240 damage if all of them hit. So do that by 30%. That's going to be a pretty high number. You can shred through almost everybody in the game just with that alone. While he is not as powerful a healer as Mercy, his Orb of Harmony and Transcendence abilities are more than enough to let him keep a team alive and to be used smartly. All of his power is counterbalanced by a severe lack of mobility. Unless Zenyatta is using his ultimate, he moves at a relatively slow pace, and no abilities help speed him up. This makes him very, very, very vulnerable to agile flankers or large amount of incoming fire. So that's one of the things that I would say with Zenyatta is, you're very, if you're going to pick Zenyatta, you have to be very, very offensive. As I said, he hurts. It's specifically, if your team was smart enough, or if you're playing with a full team, definitely throw out your Orbit Discord out there. Your Orbit Discord, and just let your team focus that person down. Boom. That's one person dead. That could be a D.Va, that could be a Reinhardt, that could be anybody. On the team, you'll definitely have them flanking behind. Now, specifically, also, if there's like maybe a Bastion on the enemy team and you got maybe a Hanzo or a Widowmaker, go ahead and slap that on, Bastion real quick. If he's stupid enough, he'll still sit there and get shot, and boom, you can probably one-shot him. If not, get very dark close to doing it. Zenyatta is one of those people that I would say high risk, high reward. Because you're having to be up there with the tanks, and for most support characters, that's a big no-no. Most support characters, you have to be behind the tank, or almost even behind the whole team, kind of watching everybody. But Zenyatta is one of those people that you kind of really have to be up there in the fray with everybody. Just because of his healing orb that he has, plus his transcendence. His transcendence is best used if you got everybody together. I see a lot of Zenyatta's really hold that transcendence until maybe like an enemy Zarya uses her ultimate. Just go ahead and pop transcendence, keep everyone alive. Boom, there you go. Whenever there's just a lot of incoming fire, maybe you see both your tanks low and you don't want them to die relatively quickly. Maybe you're the only healer on the team. Who knows the many different scenarios that you can get into. But the fact being is that if you're not a decent player by being up with the tanks, then Zenyatta will be one of those characters that you will have to kind of get used to his play style. Because as I said, he has to be pretty much right up there with the tanks, or in the middle with the DPS somewhere. That's just where he benefits the most. Now he does have a medium, short to medium range, I would say, with his Orb Destruction. But in all honesty, I would say use your Orb Discord as much as you can. Go ahead and throw that out there. If your team was smart, they'll focus that orb. Go ahead and get that person out of there. It's up to you to kind of pinpoint who you want out of there. If it's either a tank, a DPS, or a healer. Usually, whatever I do is I usually try to focus the tanks first, get them out of there, because they're the ones with the most health. They're the ones that are gonna kind of counteract your pushing, or maybe your defending, whatever side you're on. Once you get them out of there, then go ahead and focus the healers. The healers are going to be the ones that keep the DPS up. Then with your DPS alone, you should be able to take out the other DPS without no issue at that point. But that would be kind of my tips and tricks and strategy on how to use Zenyatta. So hopefully I answered a lot of questions, comments, concerns. If I did, don't forget to drop a like, as well as leave a comment down below if I did miss something with Zenyatta. Maybe there's another tip or a trick that I missed and you want to go ahead and put it into the video. That would be awesome. Definitely leave a comment. And on that note, guys, I will see you all with the next video.